Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Ruth Finalstein with Hope at Hand. Hope at Hand is a local nonprofit that provides poetry therapy programming for at-risk youth free of charge and is funded by a variety of arts and culture grants, which we will talk about more later. During the presentation, I'm going to be uploading QR codes and links to direct you to both donation and survey pages for Hope at Hand and Jack's Poetry Fest. If you leave early, please download those before you go. So we'd like to know what your thoughts are about the workshop. So, without further ado, I am going to introduce Connie Worthy, who's going to do a presentation on poetry as meditation. So, take it away, Connie.
Hi, thank you guys so much for joining me. I am so excited to be here. And it's so cool to see so many people from so many different places coming together for something like this. So thank you, thank you. So for the sake of time to do everything I can, I think this is a really good size group. I think it's great. And more people come, it's okay, but I think it's great. So for the sake of time, the first part of the group will be independent writing, and I'll explain everything more, but we'll do some writing and then we'll have some time to share at the end. So just to kind of set the expectation. I do not have music that I'll be playing throughout the group because I think everyone, um, let me backtrack. Let me backtrack a little. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. Oh, can you make me the co-host, please, Ruth? I don't need the presentation, but so essentially, the goal here today is to help all of you create a calm, peaceful place for yourself, for others, something that you can really see yourself like sinking into to be able to utilize throughout your days, right? So it can be something for you, something you share for other people. And, poetry is meditation in so many ways, right? The writing of it, reading it aloud, hearing it, there's so many elements that are involved that evoke the here and now and evoke emotions. And, um, everyone knows if you read something that's kind of dark and disturbing, that you get that feeling, right? Like you absorb some of that and you take on that energy, and that's okay. And, we also have the ability to use poetry, writing, and reading to help us create a sense of calm and energy. And so, what we are going to do is I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a meditative experience where I am going to ask you to envision something, and then you will write about it. And so, this will be kind of like a sensory exploration of what your calm, peaceful place looks like. And if for any reason those words feel triggering to you, Um, oh, Sonia said, yeah, Zoom is the worst for music sharing due to quality. Yeah, it's not great. But also, so we'll be walking through like a sensory experience. And so I want you to envision um, different aspects of the senses, right? And really kind of isolate, hone in on one at a time to give it the ability and the strength um, to blossom, right? So, it's like if you close your eyes, you start to hear more, right? Or if, you wear earplugs, you start to see more, right? And so we're going to work through some sensory isolation. And so for that purpose alone, I want you to have a quiet environment to visualize, hear, create. And if you like specific music while you're writing, feel free to cue that up because everyone will be on mute until we get to the discussion part. So you can cultivate your environment in the way that works best for you. I just won't be dictating what it sounds like. So does anyone have any, I know it's vague, that's okay. Does anyone have any specific questions before we get started? Feel free to throw them in the chat as I get my screen up for you. Okay. All right. Can everyone see the presentation behind you? Give me a thumbs up if the...
Yes, you can.
Awesome, thank you. And so out of curiosity, do you also see me or you just see the screen? You don't need to see me, but you see both? Okay, awesome, thank you. I think it's a little more personal, but whatever works. Okay, so does everyone have a writing utensil, what you'd like to write on? Is everyone in a comfortable, safe place? Take a moment to grab that, if not. And so what I want you to first visualize and write out is in your, oh, and okay, one important note is in an ideal world, this is an environment that you create for yourself, right? It can be reminiscent of somewhere that you've been, but it's most effective for you, unless you just specifically want to cultivate a memory or a certain time. It can be most effective for it to be something that you just envision that's not specifically tied to other people or other memories. But you know, that, like anything that I share, is just a suggestion. So with all of this, you know, part of why I think meditation is so important is it helps connect us to ourselves, to our own discernment, to our own needs, our own wants. And so throughout this experience, please answer your own call if it sounds different than what I suggest, okay? So your calm, peaceful place. We're gonna take 3 minutes for you to envision and free write what it is that you will see. So this can be a place that's here on this earth. It can be a place that actually exists, but it can be as vivid as your memory or as your imagination takes you. There's no right, there's no wrong. Dream up what the most calm, peaceful place would look like for you. All right, let's take a moment, just take a deep breath. Stop wherever you are, knowing that you will have time to get back to this and adapt, adjust as you need. But now I would like you to envision what this calm, peaceful place sounds like. What do you hear when you isolate that sense of sound? Remembering it does not have to be realistic, it just has to be calming to you. Okay, take a deep breath in and activate the totality of your senses. Now that you know what this place looks like and sounds like, begin to envision what you feel when you're here, both internally and externally. What does your environment feel like? Whether it's breeze or a temperature. And what does your internal body feel like? Maybe that's your breath, your heart. Maybe it's a feeling. What do you feel? Okay, take a deep breath in and re-engage the totality of your senses. Now that you know what you see, what you hear, and what you feel, I want you to begin to envision at least one thing that you taste, even if that is simply the familiar taste of your own mouth that doesn't even taste like anything because it's so familiar. Okay, take a deep breath in and re-engage your senses. You know what you see, you know what you hear, you know what you feel, you know what you taste. And last but not least, I want you to envision and write about whatever it is that you smell. Okay. Take a deep breath in. And now we bring it all together. So 10 minutes. If everyone finishes early, we can jump into sharing. But I want to make sure everyone has adequate time. So take up to 10 minutes to just bring it all together in whatever way you see fit. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be watching that. And can't wait to see what everyone comes up with. Okay. Hello, everyone. All right. Let's take a deep breath in, get to a good stopping point. All right. So you guys have been working on your calm, peaceful place. And please know that you can share as much or as little as you choose to. So you are not obligated to share anything other than what's in your comfort zone. And if you want to share part, but not all, you're welcome to do that. But I would love to hear what some of you came up with, or anything that you would like to share with the group. Feel free to just raise your hand and let me know. Okay. So I'm not sure if Mickey or Mariah raised their hand first, but either one of you, I'd love to hear from you. And then the next one next. Can you turn your mute off on your own, or do we have to? Let me see if I can unmute you. Mariah, can you unmute yourself or no?
Oh. I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much for going first. And Mickey, we will get to you next. Thank you also for volunteering.
I wrote about the big springs at Mount Shasta. It's kind of like my mom now.
Yeah.
The air is cool, shaded by trees of so many kinds, and the rocks step down to the spring, where the mountain spills her generosity as liquid love, crystal clear, full of light, even in the shade, even on a moonless night. By day, people come like pilgrims to love her, to gather her in their vessels, to take their liquid crystal with them, to hydrate their bodies. The water against the rocks is a sort of applause, earth and water celebrating their union, the joyous sound of water fracturing to come together again, the joy of reuniting. Everything is tranquility of connection, the strings of a guitar vibrating their voices into the air beside the strings of the vocal cords of those who have come to commune. Any resistance in me is drawn to the magnetism of the earth and falls away. I become water in human form, alive with dancing oxygen, where I, like the river, have begun to flow into objects I encounter. I trail my consciousness through a tree limb that has bowed to drink. I kiss every pebble I encounter, lavish my embrace in all that reaches for me. I taste the trees in their vegetable pungence, suspended on each airborne molecule of water, so that I know them as I would a lover. The earthy sweetness, the sharp scent of pine resin, the mineral taste that brings me back down again to earth where I can rest. And these flavors of Mount Shasta impregnate my nostrils with their soothing balms, lay out a buffet for the olfactory bulb that tingles with the voices of the plants rising as scent, all of them united in the harmonics of their a cappella.
Oh. Beautiful. Oh, so much incredible imagery. Anything specific that stands out as one of your favorite moments?
I really liked the part where I started tasting the trees, and like the part where in like the pebbles, like where I become the river. I think that's where we really merge. Is the part where I like.
Yeah, I loved that, the water in human form. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And was it meditative for you to write and then read it?
It really was. And I have worked on a poem that I've called At Last the Sacrament about this river, because it's the Sacramento that is the spring that is the origin of the Sacramento. But this I think is my most embodied of all the writing, and it's like uniting the spiritual and the embodied in a single thing. So I really deeply appreciate these prompts that you've offered, because they brought out the poem that I had wanted to spring up.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you had that experience, and I really appreciate you sharing it. Thank you. Yeah.
And
So
thank you for witnessing.
yeah, yeah, I see you. I see you. Mickey, would you like to go now? No pressure.
I'm nervous now after that because I don't, well, I'm not going to put myself down, but yeah. It was brilliant. It was a really, really good poem.
Yeah.
Okay. Along the small steps of the creek, by mountain's mouthy peak, this is New York State. Still, quiet solitude, as forests whisper, whistling to the beaver that swims daily across the creek. Creative memories, create melodies of time gone by. High up in the mountains, a beauty that beats its own heart's rhythm in the midsummer heat, sitting on the cold, stony creek, treating myself to a cold, icy strawberry cheesecake ice cream and a cool, refreshing lime soda. Such a long way from home. There is stillness, silliness compared to the hustle and bustle of the UK. Here in the Catskills, there is a whimsical peace that makes me calm. There is silence here in the magical majesty of the mountains.
Mm.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Any
thank
any specific images or moments that stand out to you as, parts that you love?
Well, it just completely took me back to my time in the Catskills when I was 19, and I did a summer camp there for 3 months. I just remember seeing the creek, the beaver, and how I treat myself every week. When you said about the taste, how every week I'd get my strawberry ice cream and a big bottle of soda and like crisps and that, and I'd just sit there in like solitude and peace, and it was just so beautiful there. And yeah, I
Yeah,
could
I
see
love
it
that.
all, and yeah.
I love that juxtaposition of this very like, I don't know, like I don't even think there's a word to describe it, this like ethereal, kind of feeling, and then to like the very specific, like the soda, and I
Yeah.
just love that. There was something so like cool about that.
No, thank you.
So much for sharing. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Ksenia, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, I hope you hear me because I'm on the street and
Yeah, you sound
okay.
great.
The mountains on the dim horizon are cold, welcoming, and hazy. The peak of Orizaba is peeking through the cotton of the purple clouds. The coffee plants on one side of the slope are lush and lustrous and robust. The tea bushes and trees on other side are fresh and spangled with young leaves that ready to be plucked. The guayabas, lychees, maracuyas are in full bloom, and melipona bees are bathing in their balmy essence. The birds' loud, happy chirping and quarreling is my wake-up alarm. The distant sound of the gong of the Buddhist monastery is a reminder, an invitation for me to pause and to inhale fresh morning air, to taste its moistureness, to smell its calm, to look within.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Any specific parts or images that stand out to you as favorites from what you wrote?
Well, it's just, I am contemplating now to move from the city where I forced to be living. And I just came back from Veracruz state, which is one of the most beautiful states in Mexico. And so the part of this scenery I've been soaking into there became my part, and it just came out very naturally. Then you put the prompts were popping on the screen, so this is just some of the stuff which I experienced there, but I put it together in one place.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, it's your vision, right? It can be a combination of anything, right? Yeah, I loved that, an invitation and a reminder. What was the last phrase was to look within? Was that, or
Yes, to look within.
within?
Yeah, the distant sound of the gong of Buddhist monastery is a reminder, an invitation for me to pause, to inhale fresh morning air, to taste its moistureness, to smell its calm, to look within. Then you were like saying like what you taste, what you smell, and it's like it just came, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sharon, I saw you did have your hand up, but you put it down. Absolutely okay if you changed your mind. But would you or anyone else like to share?
Yeah, I just couldn't find the right hand.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, okay.
All right. This is just where I am at this moment.
Yeah.
Inside on an outside tumult, rain pouring into shimmering puddles, trees protesting with thrashing limbs, and I am dry, safe, and warm. The hiss of rain like static from a broadcast station far away, the world coming to me distantly without a human sound, only the tapping of a million drops. In this familiar world, the comfort of knowing where things are, how they work. A place devoid of strange machines, obtuse demands, a place of not having to. The lemonade from lunch lingers, the tang of it hovering like a wispy cloud over tongue and teeth. I open the door and the world rushes in, smelling of ozone and crushed leaves, a spring smell of earth waking and shedding pollen and vapors of new bogs. To capture moments in their fragments, to assemble them, a grammar lesson in essays of experience. The examined life, Socrates declared worth living.
Oh, amazing. Any specific images or moments in that piece that really stand out to you? Sharon, anything specific that stands out to you in it? Or... Oh, you're on mute again.
Got it. It's very much like assembling a mosaic. As you did this one sense at a time. And it's only when you get the whole mess together that you realize it was a kind of grammar lesson in human experience. And that's an interesting insight.
Oh, yeah. And what was it you said? Capture moments in their fragments to...
And reassemble them. A grammar lesson and the essay of experience. It just reminded me of Socrates. Evidently, he was fond of saying that an unexamined life is not worth living. So that's what we are examining.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And Mari, would love to hear from you.
Oh gosh. I'm almost afraid to after that, because honestly, that was absolutely stunning, Sharon. I'm in heaven here after listening to that, and everybody else did such a beautiful job, some gorgeous work. This is very raw, but anyway, Rain
like-
pulsates on the slate roof tiles, steady, flat, flop as it sizzles down the pane. Grey sky, grey April. The heron stalks the flooded fields, totters through dreadlock reeds, while in the shed the black calves moan. The ewe who birthed twins grazes by the whitethorn trees, her blue belt cradling her prolapsed uterus in place, twins skipping in the fresh grass. Petrichor wafts on the village road and mingles with the sweet decaying supper filling ewes and lambs. And that's as far as I got.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that's such a
fun.
wonderful mixture of kind of, prolapsed uterus and gorgeousness of the world. It's just wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you,
yeah,
Sharon.
yeah. And what points of that, pieces of that really stand out to you?
It was unfortunately the ewe with the prolapsed uterus because I've been watching it on my walks and I had seen this belt around it and I didn't know what the belt around it was for. So I was just up there earlier and I asked the farmer and he said, it's to keep the uterus from
Yeah,
prolapsing. It had prolapsed already with the twins. And so this is keeping it in place. And that's why they're also out in the field by themselves to just hopefully help her heal. But I was like, youch, I didn't know that happened. You learn something new every day.
yeah, wow, yeah. They're so much more like us than you would think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that line about the twins skipping on the, was it fresh grass or what was the,
Yes, yeah, because this was their first time kind of on it. They had been in the sheds otherwise, and he let her out so that she'd be standing instead of kind of been depressed in the shed. This would help her too.
yeah, yeah. Well, and so if you were to kind of summarize that mingling of, just like raw beauty with like the grit of life, right? Like how would you kind of
Yeah.
summarize that? Like what would be
Well,
the
I think I'm very conscious of nature as healing.
Mm,
And it's very gray and it's been gray for weeks and it's constantly gray. And then this pure you is out there and yet the exuberance in the lambs. And she seems quite content. She's walking around like there's nothing going on. And I'm like, I can't imagine that's particularly pleasant, but she's doing better than she would be where she's stuck in a shed in the dark. So I
right.
think I'm looking at how nature is just such a good healer.
Mm, yeah. Thank you. Thank
Thank you. I'll
you.
play some more. Thank you.
Yeah. I know we're getting close on time, but does anyone else want to share? Okay. I know Sharon has a couple wrap-up things, but I would love to read to you a collaborative poem that I have created from your words. And so that's my ceiling. That's what it looks like. Okay, so just get comfortable wherever you Bonnie, I see you laughing. Just get comfortable wherever you are. If you'd like, close your eyes, just whatever you are called to do in this moment. The taste of the trees becoming water in human form, uniting the spiritual and the emotional by the mountain's worthy peak. The quiet solitude and melodies of time gone by, peeking through the cotton of the purple clouds, bathing in the balmy essence, the distant sound of the gong, an invitation and a reminder to look within. I am dry, safe, and warm, with the world coming to me distantly. The comfort of knowing where things are and how they work. A place of not having to, capturing moments and their fragments to reassemble them. A grammar lesson in the essay of experience. The mother of twins, the you with the prolapsed uterus, the twins skipping on a fresh grass. A reminder that nature is the ultimate healer. A reminder to be present around and within. Thank you guys so much for sharing this with me. This was, above and beyond what I could have imagined. And oh, I have so many new messages. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't know why they did. But yes, this was incredible, and I'm so thankful it was recorded. Yes, Mariah.
Connie, could you share the group poem that you assembled by email or something with the?
Sure. I will get with Ruth or Stephanie from Hope at Hand, and I will figure out. I know we have a list for everyone that logged in, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm if it's possible with attribution to the people who did which lines, because that I don't know if that's asking too much, but it was so lovely the way you brought it all together as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know that, let me see. Okay, what about this? So I know that Mariah, you contributed, Mari, Ksenia, Sharon. With that, did anyone else share? No, right. Okay. So what I will do is I will type it up. And if you guys, I'll send it to you first. And so it's not, it's all kind of together in my notes. So it would be really hard to remember, but I'll send it to you guys first. And you can let me know which ones were from you so that I can make sure to annotate it, because that's really
Do
important.
you have our emails? Because I'm not sure, like when we subscribe, I guess.
Have their emails?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And looking, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't see all these comments. There's so many, whistling to the beaver that swims daily across the creek, the cotton of the purple clouds, Orizaba, such a great word, a beauty that beats in its own heart. Love the specificity of naming the plants, the distant sound of the gong. Oh yeah, Mari said, I love, Ksenia, I love how you draw us into the last part of drawing us with it. So like you draw us into your story, and then the last part drawing us within. That's beautiful. The Catskills, gorgeous. And all kite, oh yeah. We were drawn in as listeners, beautiful. Trees protesting. Did you guys get to see the note? Loving the acknowledgement of what's not there. The feeling of movement in your poem. That was. Oh, Mari, thank you. You're so sweet. Denise. Yeah. No, Denise, do not be sorry that you didn't plan. That's life, right? And yeah, it will be recorded. We'll figure out where that will be accessed to. Cheryl, thank you. Mari, thank you. Soothing and magical images. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, compiling something like this is one of my absolute favorite things to do, because I get to hear all these things, and then I get to participate in reciting them to the person that read them. And I think sometimes it can be hard to appreciate the magic in your own words. And then you hear it out loud and you're like, who wrote that? It's like you know? So thank you guys for giving me so much beauty to work with. I will be doing the group next Thursday, which is something similar. Oh, all right, you too. It'll be a similar kind of experience, but about harnessing inner strength. So if you're around and available, would love to see you. So grateful for all of you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and Ruth.
Yes. Thank you so much, Connie. Really appreciate that. It was a wonderful workshop. I just want to go over Hope at Hand. We want to just thank them for this workshop and just remind everyone that they can go on Eventbrite or the website to see more poetry workshops. And if you would fill out our feedback form, that would be great. And here's the QR code. Thank
there
you
a-
to all of
Is
our
there a link?
sponsors. Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a link to it?
I-
I can't.
Okay, I'll take care of it. Thank you. Thank you to our sponsors and thank you for your support of Jack's Poetry Fest. I put in the chat the links. I'll do that again. So I don't have the link for the survey code. But I can put this in the chat. So thank you to everyone for coming.
And
And
sorry to cut you off, but just to confirm, we will have everyone's email from when they signed up, correct? They don't need to put it in the chat?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So that being said, going to stop the recording. Thank you again, Connie. It was a wonderful workshop.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.